Emma, welcome to Indian Wells. How are you feeling being here in Tennis Paradise?
Yeah, I love it here in Tennis Paradise. It's one of the nicest tournaments for us. All of the players say it's up there with their favourites, and yeah, I feel a similar way. I think it's just such a nice venue and place to play the tournament. So yeah, I feel very fortunate to be here.
We're watching you out there on the practice courts earlier. It's great to see you back, and obviously your fans are happy to see you too, but you look to be really enjoying yourself as well back on the tour.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think that I've got a really good setup around me right now, and just very much enjoying the work. And yeah, when I can, I try and interact as much as possible. And it was great to see the fans on the side of the court earlier. And even if it was just a practice, the turnout was so good. So I think that's another great thing about playing here.
Yeah, they must have appreciated it. And let's just look back at the last 18 months. Obviously, you're having a great time here now, but it must have been a tough time for you having reached such a peak at the US Open and then having to almost start from scratch again. Can you describe what that's been like, knowing you can reach those heights, but having to work from the bottom again?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, like where I'm at right now, I wouldn't say is the bottom. I think there are further places down to go. I think that it has definitely been an experience, and I've learned a lot from, trying to climb my way back up. And I think the biggest thing is just putting the work in consistently day in, day out as much as I can.
And how have you kind of picked yourself up when you've had injury setbacks again, you felt you're getting back on track and then something else has happened? What do you kind of say to yourself in those moments?
I'm just doing what I can on each day. I think at the end of the day, if I can look back and say, yeah, I got something out of today, and do that every single day, it's easier to set those short-term sights and goals. Otherwise, things can seem quite daunting if you look too far ahead. But in the immediate future, just taking care of the day, I think, helps, and then accumulating as many of those as possible.
And frustrating, of course, to get tonsillitis recently. How did you work your way back to that, and what was your kind of goal coming out of that?
Yeah, I mean, I had an amazing couple weeks training in London. I was feeling very, very good about my tennis, about my game, and yeah, I landed and I got a viral infection in Austin, so I felt very sick. It's probably the worst I've ever felt, sickness-wise, and yeah, to recover it took a while, but yeah, now I'm feeling okay.
Got 3 matches under your belt this year. Compared to the rest of your peers, you're kind of lacking quite a bit of match practice. How's your preparation been kind of off the courts? Obviously you haven't been, had the match practice, but what else have you been doing apart from that?
Like I said, I think that I had 2 really good weeks of training in London after Australian Open. And then I unfortunately got an infection a few weeks ago, so I haven't, to be honest, prepared much at all for this tournament. But I think that it's going to be a good challenge and one that I'm up for.
And of course you've got that wild card for Miami as well, which is great news. Do you think, though, it might be more beneficial to kind of come through qualifying and get that match practice under your belt, or are you happy to do a bit less and have that wild card into the main draw?
I think it depends. I think qualifying is very beneficial. I qualified and won the US Open, so it is good, and I think a lot of players are qualifying and winning the tournaments now, and it helps work your way into the tournament. But yeah, I'm very grateful to have received the wild card to Miami Open, and I think in this scenario I would take it, but definitely qualifying isn't a negative thing.